today's sponsor, Durianrider.com, for all your fake netty needs. But so let's talk about cycling addiction, man. Like, how good is it to be a cyclist in 2024? That Cannondale frame there cost me $60. Was it 50 or 60? One of the two. AUD. $60 AUD. 50, 60. Let's call it 60. And the legend threw in a pair of Mavic Serum SLs, a pair of them. It's in the rear wheel there. You know what I mean? Like, what? And it's not stolen, okay? The deals out there. I live in a very, very affluent area. It's called Beulah Park, right? It's City of Burnside Council, Kensington, Norwood, Tusmore. It's like upper class, and a lot of cyclists around here. And they upgrade to road disc, or they got some old, just moving, you know. If you've ever been to a surgeon's house or lawyer's house, an accountant's house or whatever, it's generally very prim and proper and tidy. It ain't like this crack down here. And so you have so many deals out there, okay? And it goes for every country in the world. Whether you live in Shenzhen, there's rich people there with cash who just get rid of stuff. They don't want to haggle. They're just like, I want it sold in the next hour. Price, pennies. Let's go, all right? San Francisco, anywhere in the world, man, and the deals go quick. But this Cannondale here was sitting there for ages. So I was riding my bike today, and my form's really good. If you can tell, I'm pretty hyper right now. I got no stims in my system. When you're feeling on top, man, you feel like the stims are just inbuilt. Your endothelium cells are popping, and everything's great. And so I was riding today back to my shoe shop, and saw this guy sitting at the bus stop, and I spotted the Coke Zero. He's just having a swig of Coke Zero, and he's sitting at the bus stop, and he's waiting for his bus, and he's just sitting there. And I was just thinking, fuck, man, that's a perfect anti-advert for Coke Zero. Have stimulants to sit down at a bus stop and wait for your transport modality to arrive, and then wait to get home versus being on the bike. And people say, oh, what, maybe it's a 60-kilometre bus? No. It's the bus line is about 10 to 15 Ks. And I guarantee you, if we're going door to door, I'm going to be much faster than old mate, okay? Respectfully speaking. But what are you going to do when you're drinking Coke Zero? Where's the energy going to come from? I mean, you have the caffeine, you spike your cortisol, and now you're just sitting there, just thinking anxious thoughts, because caffeine drives anxiety, because anxiety is based on cortisol. So more cortisol, more anxiety. And what happens when you consume sugar? Lowers cortisol. Look it up, all right? Sugar lowers cortisol in seconds. That's why if you have something catastrophic happen in your life, or you feel it's catastrophic, and you have some sugar, some jelly beans, some really, really sweet fruit, put sugar on it, just gobble it down, all of a sudden your cortisol stress response goes, all right down, and testosterone goes up, because when cortisol's high, testosterone generally drops down. There's a relationship there, okay? So, and you can sort of see how vascular we are, you know, how lean we are, man. But sugar makes you fat, Harley. Sugar makes you fat. Look at any of my videos, you know what I mean? Like any of my videos in 2008. Always looking so, oh, you're too lean, Harley. You're too skinny, but sugar makes you fat. You eat too much, but sugar makes you fat. Cycling makes your legs really big. I wouldn't ride a bike because I don't want my legs get like this big. Cycling makes your legs big, fucking. I'd be like having freaking tree trunks as legs if that was the case. Look at all the top cyclists out there. Very, very small legs. Like this is Jonas Vingegaard's quad, literally. I could put my hands around Jonas Vingegaard's quad. And the dude's doing 7 watt a kilo, all right? So, you know, the power comes from the blood, from the lungs, all right? The power to win the Tour de France does not come from the leg size, okay? Anyway, so where we're going to... So this guy's sitting at the bus stop, and I'm thinking, fuck, man. You got all this highly engineered bike stuff just sitting there for pennies on the pound, and people are drinking Coke Zero because sugar's bad, because sugar makes you obese. You got obesity experts who are obese themselves telling people, like Robert Lustig, sugar makes you fat, stay away from sugar. And then you got lean, bogan, crackhead-looking bros like me proving sugar is lean. And people are like, well, the obese guy said that sugar's bad and you should eat more bacon. And if you want to wear shapewear like Robert Lustig, you know, respectfully speaking, then listen to his bacon egg diet stuff, which makes you obese, not to mention the heart disease and all sorts of baddies. So what are you going to do? You're sit at the bus stop drinking Coke Zero, And the bus ticket, you got to pay for that. And then there's pollution on top of that. You got this bus, which is better than individual driving for sure, but then you just fucking ride a bike, man. Right? Just fucking ride a bike. And this guy was young, and he looked able-bodied. I'm just thinking, what the fuck? But hey, he's a victim of corporate marketing. They don't care about your health or your mental wellness. They're like, how can we sell you more product? All right, think of Nike, man. Nike's a marketing brand, but they also have made some epic contributions to sport. This is the Nike Air Pegasus 83. And you get these for around 20, 30 bucks, slightly used. They're a very trendy shoe right now. People wear them for a few times and they bin them at the thrift store. They 20, 30 bucks, boom, take it, leave. And the sole, mate, look at that. The sole's hardly even worn. Oh, it's not a vegan. No shoes are vegan. Every bit of glue, material, ink, there's some sort of animal product at some level. Just like roads are not vegan. Well, so you can't be a vegan then? No, you technically can't, so you should just give up altogether and just go and eat some steak and be like Sean, fake Natty Baker, and promote a meat diet only. Anyway, so these people, the excuses, well, I can't eat meat because shoes aren't vegan. Sorry, I have to eat meat because shoes aren't vegan, and if I was wearing shoes, I might as well just be eating meat anyway. And if the reasons we use to justify complacency. Oh, I was a vegan, but I made it it's too hard. Yeah, because you weren't wearing barefoot and you're walking on fucking grass. But then you're worried about stepping on the microscopic organisms, so you use that as a justification to go and do whatever. Anyway, digressing here. But these shoes, these feel so good on foot, man. And the technology in these was designed by Phil Knight and Bill Bauman, who were track athletes. So this actually, even though it's called a retro shoe, is still a fucking kick-ass shoe. And the elite marathoners, some of the fastest runners in human history, use this as a training shoe and a speedwork shoe. And if you wear this shoe, it's damn, it's a bit like a racing flat with quite a thick sole there. And not talking midsole, I'm talking the sole's quite chunky. It's actually not a bad cycling shoe, just cruising around. Nike Air Pegasus 83, I rate it highly. But you put these on and it's like a flashback to the 80s elite marathon vibes, all right? This is what the Nike-sponsored athletes used back in the day. And they ran some, sub-2, 12 marathons, etc. around that, So there you go, I'm just saying. And the Nike marathon shoes are basically the same shoe with just a thinner sole here. This carbon rubber was just thinner and lighter. And the upper was the same, and midsole was the same, and they're doing mutant marathon times in them. So I love when people say, it's not a running shoe. It is a running shoe. It's a high-performance running shoe, and it sells dirt cheap, secondhand on Facebook, etc. So Pegasus 83. So all this stuff out there, all these amazing shoes for peanuts, these amazing bikes. This is like a tarmac SL2 over here, man. Look at this stuff, you know what I mean? Look at that, all right? It's a road map. I don't use Google Maps on my arm. You look at this, SRAM Red, Durace. You're getting them now for one of the guys from the coaching group the other day got an S-Works Venge, not stolen, from the original owner. It cost about 10 grand. Had Durace 9000 on it. He got the group set and the frame set. Was it $300 or something like that? And he sold the group set for $450, and then the frame set sold it for $150. So he made a bit of a cut, quick sale. Got his cut, made a profit, and we got a quick sale. That's just here in Adelaide. And so people are, but there's no, yes there is. There's deals everywhere. If you put in the work, and this guy Gus, he's just boom, he's just hunting all the time. He gets the deals before I do because he's putting in the work. We put in the work, we get the results. But anyway, so I'm just baffled, man, why people would sit in a fucking car. Well, actually, I'm not baffled because there's so much anti-propaganda. You got clowns, sort of funny, semi-funny clowns like Isaac Butterfield, who trash cyclists, and he does it in a tongue-in-cheek sort of way. But and his audience, most of his audience is mad low IQ, so they would take it literally that you should make fun of cyclists. So you cyclists are dumb. Because, cyclists, Isaac Butterfield's audience IQ is, we've got 10 speed on this, so they're less than that SRAM 10 speed IQ-wise. So yeah, there's narratives against cycling, okay? There's narratives against walking somewhere. You're walking somewhere, But then you got people like David Goggins, who are out there riding bikes and stuff, and David Goggins doesn't own a car, so that's fantastic. That's definitely one big thing about David Goggins that we can promote positively. Yeah, he abandoned his daughter, but today's topic is on sustainable and fun transport, riding a bike, walking, running. But cycling's where it's at. That's the ticket, because to run and walk 20 miles a day, there's a fair bit of conditioning for that. But anyway, that's also why I don't have a car. Never had a driver's license. You feel like a fucking champion once your fitness comes up and you start getting the groove. If you know, you know. You know what I mean? Like, it's like when you're a virgin, you're like, yeah, sex, yeah, I don't know, and then you have some really good sex or whatever, and you're like, oh yeah. Or you have durian. Never had durian. Maybe you've had durian. I don't like durian. And then one day you have really good fucking durian, and you're like, oh, I get it. Same with fitness. Same with footwear. Same with cycling. And once you get on a nice bike and you understand how to fit it to yourself, you watch a few Steve Hogg or Neil Stanbury content there, and just things just start to snowball, and you get sucked into this cult of peak fitness. There is no fitter people than cyclists. Like running, you're gonna get injured. You're gonna get injured. People are like, well, cross-country skiing, like, yeah, great, do that in summertime. Like, cross-country skiing will work. So there is no fitter people out there than cyclists, because it's so sustainable. It's so sustainable, and it's so easy to do for the majority of people out there. Even if you're living in very, very poor socio-economic area, there's still bicycle access for you. So it's crazy. But hey, there's massive anti-cycling agenda out there. It's not safe, bikes are expensive, they're hard to work on, the bike saddle's uncomfortable, this bike feels like shit. Look at the bikes they put out there in Australia and US, these fucking 80-pound huffies with this, like, you got